All right, so what we're going to do here is another little coding challenge, and this will just be based on the previous few videos. So we're going to create an array of foods that's going to be available at a local diner. I don't have it here because it's going to be kind of long. I've posted this in the description, along with we're going to create an array of foods that you'd like to eat. I posted that as well. Now, if you want to use your own array, if you want to make that up on your own, that's fine. It doesn't matter. This is for you to learn. It's not for me, okay? The next thing you want to do is create a function that checks each item of the food you want to eat and tells you if it's available. How you do this is up to you. You can use index of, you can use the includes, whatever you want to do. And then basically you need to call the function enough times to where you can run through your whole array. So you can just do a bunch of console.log statements, or you can use, we briefly talked about the while loop, or you can have a function that calls itself until basically there's no more items in the array, okay? So however you want to execute this, go ahead and pause the video, give it an honest try on your own, and then I'll see you here for the solution. All right, so let's go ahead and start with our dinerFoods. Okay, so I'm just gonna go const dinerFoods. And again, this is posted in the description if you just wanna grab it, or you can type it along with me if you didn't do the challenge. So I'm gonna go hamburgers, okay? Hamburgers, make sure I spell that correctly. We've got pizza, we've got fried chicken, so fried chicken, and then we've got lamb, and then we've also got pancakes, and then we've also got bacon, and then waffles, and then what else do we have? Meatballs, and we have a couple more, so pasta, and then we have fried rice, and then lastly we have mashed potatoes. Okay, so that's going to be our array. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. And move this up. So the next thing we wanted to do was create an array of foods that you like to eat. So again, this could have been done with whatever you pick. I'm just going to go const myFoods. The idea here is to at least put some of these in so you get different results when you call your function. So let's go ahead and put something like lamb. We'll put that in there. Let's put pasta. Let's do bagels. Okay, let's do smoked. So smoked, and then pork, and then what else do we want? Let's do fried rice. So fried rice, let's do pasta, and let's do orange, okay, chicken. All right, so let's stop and think about what we have for now. And I'm just gonna delete this also, because all we have left to do is to make the function. So let's go ahead and move this guy up. So if we think about the myFoods here, or the foods I want to eat, lamb is available at the diner, right? You see pasta is also available. Bagels, not available. Smoked pork, not available. Fried rice, I don't think I see it. Oh, it is in there. So fried rice is available. Pasta is available, but orange chicken is not available. So what I want to do is just set up the function. So let's just get rid of this guy. We don't need it anymore. And let's go down here. And you can call the function whatever you want. I'm just going to say function what to eat. Or maybe you could say what's available to eat. Let's just do what's to eat. Okay, and we'll do something like that. And then I'm going to pass in two arrays here. So the first one is going to be a foods list. Okay, so this is what's available. And then a cravings list. Okay, so this is what you want. All right, so the first thing is every time you call the function, the way I'm going to do this, I'm basically going to remove an item from myFoods. So I'm basically going to be checking these one at a time. So I'm going to go through and remove lamb. Then next time I call the function, I'm going to remove pasta, then bagels, then smoked pork, so on and so forth until the point where the array doesn't have anything in it anymore. Okay, so I want to check the cravings list because this guy right here, this is what I'm going to end up replacing with myFoods, okay, in the end. So I'm going to say if the cravings list dot length, okay, I'm going to use that property. So length does not equal 0, then I want to do some stuff. Okay, so what do I want to do? Well, there's a lot of different ways to do this. I'm going to do it in a kind of slower way where we can show every step. So I'm going to set up some variables. I'm going to go const. I'm just going to say current food. Okay, and I'm going to set this equal to. I'm basically going to grab the first item or the first element from the cravings list. So from the, in this case, myFoods, which we're passing in. So in this case, I would want lamb. So I'm just going to use shift for that method. So I'm going to go cravings list, okay, dot shift. And that's going to, again, in current food, what's going to be stored there in this case would be lamb. Call the function again, you get pasta, then bagels, so on and so forth. Then what I want to do is I just want to check this dinerFoods array here to see if that's available. So you could use index of and see if it's not -1, okay? Or you can use includes, that just gives you a true or false. I think includes is probably a little bit better here. So let's do something like const, and we'll say at diner, okay? Just to check and see if it's at the diner. and I'm going to use this foods list. Okay, remember, I'm going to replace that with this bigger array, dinerFoods, and I'm going to say dot includes, and I'm going to be looking for the current food. Okay, so this is going to be a true or false based on if the diner, okay, is going to have the food that I'm looking for. Okay, so let's keep going now. I'm just going to make a little simple if statement, and I'm going to say if at diner, if that's true, then I want to return a simple little string, and I'll just say we have your, or actually we'll say we have and then the current food, okay, at our diner. And you can put a little emoji. I'm just going to do the sunglass guy. I like him a lot. So let's use that. And then we're going to do a little else. And basically I'm just going to return something like we, or you say sorry. So sorry, we don't have $ curly braces, your current food, okay, at our diner, okay. And maybe you're sorry that you're telling that person that, or maybe you're annoyed. Let's use this one. I seem to like that one, okay. So right now, if we call this function, okay, and we put in here for the foods list, dinerFoods, and for the cravings list, myFoods, what we're going to get is basically this one right here. We have lamb at our diner, okay, because it's going to take this guy right here and it's going to search through and find it. So this is going to be true right here, okay. And then basically we're going to have, we have lamb at our diner. So let's go ahead and call this guy. I'm going to go console.log, not console.length, so console.log. And then I want to call the function. I already forgot the name of it. So it's what to eat, and then we need dinerFoods and myFoods. So what to eat, we need dinerFoods and myFoods. Okay, let's put those in there, and let's go ahead and pop open the terminal, and we'll run this guy, and we have lamb at our diner as expected. Now, you want to call this guy until you've run through all these guys. Here shortly, we're going to talk about loops. I briefly talked about while loops. So if you want to do it that way, you can. You can basically just specify in this case, you can say while, okay, I'm going to just take this array in this case. I know this is not an efficient way to do this, but I'm just going to check myFoods. So while myFoods.length is not equal to 0, then basically I want to keep doing this. So I'm just going to keep running this guy right here, okay? So this will continually call the function until this myFoods here, until I've gone through all of them, and basically it gets to 0. So if you pop this open and clear this and run this, you go through all of them. Right? So we have lamb, we have pasta, we don't have bagels, we don't have smoked pork, we have fried rice, we have pasta, and then we don't have orange chicken. If we wanted to do this where the function is just calling itself until the basically myFoods array is at 0, right, in terms of its length, I could do something like function, let's go myCaller, and I'm going to have 3 parameters here. One is going to be the function name, basically what I want to call. The other one is based on what we're going to put in there. So I need a bigger array and a smaller array. So let's just call this big array. Let's call this sub array, okay, to keep it simple. And right now, let's just keep it really, really simple. I'm not going to check for the length or anything like that. I'm just going to console.log. And what I want to console.log is I'm going to call the function, so function name. I need parentheses to call the function. And I'm going to be putting in here the big array, so the big array, and then the sub array, okay? So let's come down here and I'm going to call myCaller, and I'm going to pass in the function name, which was what to eat. I'm going to pass in the dinerFoods, okay, which is the bigger array, and then I'm going to pass in the myFoods, which was the smaller array. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this real quick, and then I'm going to show you exactly why it's doing what it's doing. Again, this is just going to run one of these, okay, so it's going to come up here, it's going to grab lamb, it's going to check it, it's going to get a match, right, so it's there, so it's going to say we have lamb at our diner. So let's pop this open, run this, we have lamb at our diner. Okay, so why does this work? Again, when I set this up, I have a function name, a big array, and a sub array. And all I'm doing is I'm console.logging the function name. So what got passed in there was what to eat. So basically you can think about this as having what to eat. And then inside of here, you have dinerFoods and myFoods. So if I called what to eat with dinerFoods and myFoods, you would get exactly what we got, right? Where we pop open this guy and we see we have lamb in our diner, okay? So I know this is a bit confusing when you first see it like this, but you will get used to it. So the first thing I would want to do actually here is put up a little if statement and say, if the sub array dot length, okay, does not equal to 0, then I want to run this guy. I want to console.log this guy, okay? So we can do this, pop this back open and clear this and run this. Still works, right? But we're not calling the function continuously. So to do that, all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this guy right here, okay? And I basically just want to put that in here, and it's going to keep running the function over and over again until this guy right here is 0. Okay, so when the subarray, when the length of that guy is 0, then basically it's going to stop. Okay, so if we pop this back open and we clear this and we run this, we go through all of them again, just like we saw with the while loop. So we have lamb, we have pasta, no bagels, smoked pork, we have fried rice, we have pasta, and no orange chicken.